Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're back in the Minecraft Creative Builds world at our Minecraft village that we are doing a little bit of a makeover on. And I thought today we'd probably work on the library, which is the building in the centre of our screen right here. Now this one's generated in quite a difficult location for upgrading the building because it's right between three paths, so we have a very minimal amount of space to work with, which means that we basically have to stick to the structure that we've already got and just make it look a little bit better and make it fit in with the rest of the village. So this should be a fairly simple build because we just don't have the space to make it anything more fancy. So you've got the very standard library structure inside. Two tables, a little bit of a chair, a few books, crafting bench. So for this one I think we'll go for the warped wood this time, as we're using the new woods from the nether throughout the village. So we just did one in crimson, so let's do the library in the warped woods. So we'll grab stairs, trapdoor, fence. I'm just trying to think what we can do with the building, you know, and then a warped stem, a stripped one, and a half slab, the warped slab, and a pressure plate, all in the warped wood. And we'll probably want some sort of carpet. We might just, let's use the cyan carpet because it's the closest colour to the warped woods, and I think we'll remove the little pressure plates on top here, and you can either use the pressure plates, or I suppose you could use the carpet, but I think we'll use the pressure plates simply because the carpet is that little bit bigger and then kind of takes up too much space to make it look like the villagers can sit. The trapdoor, the pressure plates I mean, just take up that little bit less space than the carpet, so it looks like you've got more space for sitting. I think we might extend this seating area as well and just go around the corner here and add a third table, just so we're maximising the use of the space. So we'll want the oak fence and a pressure plate in the warped wood on the top. And that I think is probably all we're going to do with the interior. We've just extended the seating, added an extra table and put in a little piece of carpet. We will swap the stair out I think for a warped one, just to add the little bit of colour to the outside. Either side we'll use the stripped warped wood, and we'll use the fence pole to go up the front of the building at either side of the door. Or do we want to do that? Do you know what? I think we might want like a little porch area. So we might want to use the half slabs above the top of the door instead. That means we'll remove a little bit of the support pole there and we'll make it into a little porch area instead. And an extra half slab in the middle just to give it that 3D effect and that little arched way over the door. Yeah, I like that. I think that's going to work much better. Now I'm just trying to decide what we do with it. We'll have to add a touch of the blue to the roof. So maybe we just edge the roof with the warped woods. So we'll remove the lower layer of the roof and go across with the warped wood, and then we'll put the warped wood around the edge of the build so that it extends a little bit over the edge of the building. I just think that little overhang of a roof always just makes things look so much better, and it's a big improvement for a very small amount of effort. So we'll remove the oak, lowest layer of the roof along the back, and swap that out with the warped wood stairs, and then we'll add the edging at the other side of the building. So you see, we're barely touching the building, but it already looks a ton better than it did when we arrived. So if you just want to prettify the village, you don't necessarily have to do a ton of work to it to make it look very different. And then underneath we will add the upside down stairs to give the roof that proper V-shaped style rather than looking all jagged at the edges. Beautiful. Now let's do that to the other side as well, so let's make sure we don't forget to do that. And as you can see, just making that edging to the roof makes a huge difference to the actual buildings. So if you really don't want to spend much time prettifying the village, but you do want it to look a bit different, just choose an accent colour of your own choosing and just go around, add edges to all the roofs, add a few trapdoors as shutters to the windows, change out little porch fronts like we've done here with this door, and you could call that the day at the village and it would look so much better than it did originally. I think we're going to maybe put some overhangs on the windows. So because it's 4 wide, we can make the centre section a little bit taller. And then at the back, they're 2 wide windows, so I think we'll just put 2 pieces across the top there. Shutters at the sides of the windows. And to be honest, we don't really have much space to do anything else because of the positioning of the pathways here, but I think it still makes a big difference. So we'll do this window because it's 4 wide, the same as the opposite one. 4 half slabs and then 2 in the centre to give it that little uptick in the centre. I'm not sure I like this. I think I'm going to play with it a little bit. If we extend it and then add the second story of half slabs above the windows, I think that looks better than the original one. I'd love to put some window boxes and things in, but I suspect that the trapdoors might mess up the path, but let's try it. Yeah, see, that messes up the path. So if you had 2 gaps from the building to where the path's located, you could actually put in some of these like window boxes, but because of where my path is, that's just going to mess it all up. So let's replace the path. That wasn't what I meant to do. I meant to turn that into path. Okay, let's try that again. You didn't see that. Nobody saw that, right? Yeah, see, we did it. There we go. Beautiful. Right, I still really want to put some window boxes in though, so we're going to have to rethink the way to do that. How about if we lift it up off the floor a block and have them as actual hanging window boxes instead? And then we put the trapdoors all the way around. Now in the centre section there, we can only put 1 trapdoor up. We can't put one on both sides. So you can either like decide which of the 2 sides you're most likely to see the window boxes from and then put the trapdoor on that one, and then you're just going to have to live with the other one there like that. That could be mildly annoying. Depends how hung up on details you are. Actually, do you know what? If we remove that and then we grab another block of grass and put it in the centre, then we want the trapdoor, put that on there. I think I would prefer them to be 2 separate ones, but I think the trapdoor being missing will be a little odd. And then of course you want to put trapdoors underneath where you've got the grass as well, so that you've got an enclosed window box. So here where we've got more space, we can do the traditional sort of window box here, put the grass as a planter underneath where the window is, and then put the trapdoors all the way around it, and then you can put your flowers on it. At the front again here, if we put it on the floor, we'll again be messing the pathway, so we want it to be a hanging one again. But of course if we put it there, we then can't put a trapdoor next to where the fence is around the door. So again, you've got mild potential annoyances, but to be honest, I think it's such a small problem that I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to make the hanging window box there and ignore that. And then here, again, we'd have trouble with the path, so we don't want to put it on the floor, so we want to make it a hanging one again. So we just use 2 pieces of grass, put the trapdoors underneath and then around all the sides. There we go. See, so we've done a fair few details here, and then here you could make that a hanging box there so that it matches all of the others, because having one on the floor just looks a little bit odd there, I think. So I'm going to turn it into a hanging box instead, so that they all match all the way around. Put your trapdoors all the way around the sides and then underneath as well, just so that it's a fully enclosed box. Lovely. Now we have to find some flowers to put in them. So I think we want to go for something blue to go with the colour scheme that we've gone for here. So we've got an orchid, and we've got a cornflower. So depending on your preference, I mean, you can put any colour you want in there, to be totally honest. I'm just kind of sticking with the colour scheme. As you can see, we've got orchids in the background there at that other place. So let's put cornflowers on the 2 wide one at both ends of the build. See, I just like symmetrical stuff. And then we'll put cornflowers on the 2 ends and orchids in the 2 middle. And we can't put one right in the centre where we've got the trapdoor for a shutter, because they just won't both fit in the same spot. So orchids in the centre and cornflowers at the side. And I'm very happy with that. So as you can see, you don't necessarily have to do tons and tons, but you can add tons of detail in just little additions. Even just adding a flower box, a few shutters makes a big difference. Edging the roof changes it completely. Playing around with overhangs for doorways and windows and things just adds character and depth to the whole build. And there you go, that's the build that we've come up with. Quite a simple one, doesn't take too long to do, but it makes a huge difference to the actual look of the library building. So I think the whole thing is just choosing a contrast colour to the natural materials of your particular village, and then just having to play around with it. Add the things that you like and keep improving on them. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!